Hi everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to our geometry recording for today. Today is Monday, May 9th, 2022. In today's recorded live session, we're going to read our lesson goals. We're going to learn how to determine whether two polygons are similar. We're going to do some practice together in this video. And then when we're all done, you guys are going to submit your answers to the practice questions that we're doing together into your P.3 Learn quiz item in the online school. All right, classroom expectations for today. I expect that you guys are watching the video. If I ask you to pause the video and try a problem on your own, definitely pause the video and try the problem on your own. Then be sure to unpause it to see the solution and think about if you have any questions about how we solved these problems. I also expect that at the end of the video that you're going to put your answers into the quiz items in that P.3 Learn item in the online school. It's worth 2 points, and that's how you're getting your participation points for today. All right, our lesson title is P.3 Identify Similar Figures. Since we're not in the live session, I will read the goal. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to determine whether two polygons are similar. All right, so identifying similar figures. Shapes are similar if their corresponding angles are all congruent and their corresponding sides are proportional. So we're going to check that for every problem that we have today. We're going to ask ourselves, are the corresponding angles congruent? And we'll also ask ourselves, are the corresponding sides proportional? Okay, again, we're going to complete 4 practice problems together. When we finish, you will submit your answers into your P.3 Learn. Be sure to write down your answers as you go through the rest of this video. So you might want to pause the video right now and go grab some scratch paper and pencil. You're going to be writing down answers to 4 questions, and they're just yes or no questions. So you're just going to need to write down, 4 words. Okay, let's take a look at question number 1. Are these shapes similar? Okay, so we've got this shape right here, KLMN, and this shape right here, TUVW. Okay, and you want to ask yourself, are the corresponding angles congruent? So do the angles in this figure have the same measures as the angles in this figure? Remember, we don't have measurements for the angles for this particular problem, but we do, where's my pointer? We can tell, for example, that angle M is congruent to angle W. They both have the same measure because they both have a single curved line. Likewise, angle N is congruent to angle V because they have 2 curved lines. So that's how we're going to be able to tell if the corresponding angles are congruent. We're going to match the angles up and make sure they have the same number of curved lines. And are the corresponding sides proportional? Okay, so you're going to have to decide which sets of sides go together, divide their measures, and check to see that they all have the same ratio. If they do all have the same ratio, then they are proportional. If even one ratio is different, then they are not proportional. So go ahead and pause the recording now and see if you can answer this question, and then we'll take a look at the solution. All right, let's take a look at the solution. Are the corresponding angles congruent? Okay, so we've got angle N right here with 2 curved lines and angle V with 2 curved lines. Okay, those are congruent. We have angle M with 1 curved line and angle W with 1 curved line. That's what I'm using the parentheses to indicate the curved angle measures. Angle L has 2 curved lines, and so does angle T. They match up, they're congruent. Angle K has 1 curved line, and angle U has 1 curved line. They match up as well. The answer to this is yes. The corresponding angles are congruent. How about the corresponding sides? Okay, so let's just look at the first set of sides. NM right here, the measure of NM is the same as the measure of KL because they're across from each other. So this measure is 30. NM equals 30. VW is the side that corresponds with MN, and its measure is 18. So we're going to find the ratio. We're going to calculate 30 divided by 18 equals 1.67. okay? And then we have to do that with all of the other sets of sides as well. So let's look at another one. Let's look at ML. ML is 40, and ML matches up with WT. WT doesn't have a mark, but we can see that the measure is 24. So then we do 40 divided by 24, and we get 1.67. Okay, and you guys can pause the recording if you want to take a closer look here, but it turns out that all of the pairs of sides are proportional. And so let's click to the next slide here. We can say that yes, the corresponding angles are congruent. Yes, all of the proportions are the same. When we divide the sides from this figure by the sides from this figure one at a time, we get 1.67 for all of the ratios. Because these are all the same, we can say yes, the proportions are the same, and we ultimately can say yes, they are similar. So the answer for question number 1 is yes. Let's take a look at number 2. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to read. You can pause, try to work it out, and then you can take a look at the answer. Are these shapes similar? Okay, so we have this figure right here, MNOP. We can see that the angles have those little red squares. Remember, those red squares mean 90 degrees. So 90, 90, 90, and 90. And then we have this rectangle right here. I lost my pointer there for a second. Hopefully I'll get it back. UXWV. And again, all of those angles have the little squares. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Are the corresponding angles congruent? Determine that. Are the corresponding sides proportional? And this is the part that takes a while. So you're going to want to match up the long side for this one, the 40, with the long side for this one, the 28, and you're going to divide 40 divided by 28. And you're going to do the same thing with the short sides, 25 divided by 25, and see if you get the same answer. Go ahead and pause the recording and work this one out, and then we'll go over the answer. All right, let's take a look at the answer for this one. Okay, so as you were hearing me say, all of the angles are 90 degrees in both of the figures. So the angles are definitely congruent. Are the corresponding sides proportional? They're not. And notice we only did 2 pairs of sides. As soon as you get 2 ratios that are different, you can stop right there. You know the answer is going to be no. Okay, so we compared the short side lengths, 25 and 25, and we divided them. 25 divided by 25 equals 1. And then we did the same thing with the long lengths. 40 divided by 28 equals 1.4. These two ratios are different. They're not the same. The sides are not proportional. So if we say no to this, then we have to say no, they are not similar. Okay, they are not similar. Let's take a look at question number 3. Remember, you're going to be putting these answers into your quiz. Are these shapes similar? All right, you've got your curved lines again. So see if the number of curves, the number of semicircles in these angles matches these angles over here. If they do, then you're going to say, yes, the angles are congruent. Then you're going to move on and match up those sides. Okay, go ahead and pause the recording and see what you get for this one. All right, let's go ahead and we will take a look at the answer. So yeah, those curved lines do match up. L and M both have 2 sets of curved lines, and so do U and X. They are congruent to one another. N and O each have 1 curved line, so do V and W, so they are congruent. So now we have to compare our side lengths. So I'm going to start with LM. This says LU, that really should be LM. Okay, LM, which is kind of like the top of the trapezoid. It's the short side of the trapezoid, the short top side. 20. And I'm going to match that up with UX. Okay, so we're going to divide 20 divided by 16. 20 divided by 16 is 1.25. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this side right here. Okay, one of the sides of the trapezoid. This is 26, okay? And that matches up with this side right here, WX. That's also 26. 26 divided by 26 is equal to 1. These ratios are not the same. 1.25 and 1 are different numbers, so the corresponding sides are not proportional. If we say that they're not proportional, then they are not similar. So the answer to this one is no. We have one more question to go. I'm going to click to the next slide. Question number 4, are these shapes similar? Are the corresponding angles congruent? Again, we don't have angle measures, we have our curved lines. So H and J have the double curves, so do P and R. G and I have the single curved lines, so do O and Q. So think about that. Are the corresponding angles congruent? Then you're going to match up your sides and divide. Okay, all of the pairs of sides have to have the same ratio in order for the sides to be proportional. Go ahead and pause the recording and then unpause when you're ready to look at the answer. All right, let's take a look. Okay, the angles are congruent. Hopefully you could kind of see that as I was first reading through the problem. The G and I both have single curved lines, so do O and Q. They are congruent. H and J have double curved lines, so do P and R. They are congruent. Okay, so yes, the corresponding angles are congruent. How about the sides? So for all 4 of these sides, they're all 31, and all 4 of these sides are all 39. Now I have them written out and I'm showing you the ratio for all 4 sides, but you really only need to do it once. The other times you can see it's the exact same calculation, repeat it over and over again. 31 divided by 39 equals 0.79, and you're going to get that same answer for every pair of matching sides in these 2 figures. Because we get the same answer for all of them, we can say that the sides are proportional, and we can say, yes, they are similar. Okay, so let's go to our next slide here. Great job. You were all done with our recording for today. Now you're going to go ahead and enter your answers for questions number 1, 2, 3, and 4 in your P.3 Learn. Those are the answers to the questions that we just went over in this recording. This is your activity for Monday. Tomorrow, you guys are going to try the P.3 IXL. All right. Have a great day.